y'all, I'm Brenda with Blessings and Bread. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making two of my favorite dips. I know the Super Bowl Sunday is coming soon. Lots of people get together to watch the game together, and both of these are a great dip that you could take to a Super Bowl party or any get together when there's finger foods and dips, and they are excellent and so easy to make. So we're going to start first with corn dip, and then we're going to make my strawberry guacamole dip. So let's get started with this corn dip. This corn dip is super easy to make. It's really just a matter of adding your ingredients into a bowl and mixing them together. We're going to start with 2 cans of Mexicorn, which has green and red bell peppers added to it. So then we're going to add to it 1 cup or 8-ounce container of sour cream, 1 cup of mayo or mayonnaise. This is real mayonnaise, not salad dressing. So 1 cup of real mayo. And if you want to make this a little lighter, since this is a dip, you definitely could go with a low-fat or fat-free mayo to kind of lighten your dip. Next we have, it calls for 2 bunches of green onions, but I never use that much. I'm using probably about 1/3 of a cup of green onions, 1 can of chopped green chilies, it calls for 1 jalapeno chopped, and I like mine chopped really fine. So that's 1, and it was a pretty big jalapeno, so this may end up being pretty spicy. Usually it's not real spicy. And then 1 tablespoon of cumin. And I'm going to stir that together at this point, and then we have 1 more ingredient to add. I love the smell of cumin, and honestly, to me, cumin is the key ingredient here. This gives this such kind of that kind of smoky flavor. If I didn't mention that you're supposed to drain the corn, I had already done that before I started. The last ingredient we're going to add is 2 cups of shredded cheese, and I'm using a blended cheese or a Mexican cheese blend. And then we're going to stir that in. And when we get this all stirred in, this dip is ready to go. Once you have your dip in your container or bowl that you're going to serve it in, then I always take a little more cumin and sprinkle it on top, just to give it a little more color there. Not a lot. My cumin doesn't want to shake out. All right. And then you want to serve this with some tortilla chips. So I'm going to save this for the taste test. I'm going to test both of these at the end. And so we'll come back at the end and do a taste test. So this is the corn dip. And I know you just saw how simple and easy that was. And it's very, very delicious. All right. Now we're going to move on to making the strawberry-avocado dip. Before we actually make the strawberry-avocado dip, I'm going to make some special chips to eat with it. And I'm supposed to have a 6-inch tortilla. And I forgot, I knew I had tortillas, so I didn't buy any. And then I realized I have this like huge burrito size tortilla. So be sure to buy the 6-inch smaller tortillas to make your chips with. Although this works, they just won't be as uniform. So you're going to start by taking some canola oil and brushing your tortilla with a little canola oil, just lightly. And then I'm going to take and sprinkle it with some cinnamon sugar. Now the recipe actually calls for 2 teaspoons of sugar and a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, but you can mix up your cinnamon sugar to ever how you like, and I keep it mixed up so because we love cinnamon toast, and so I keep some mixed up and keep it in an old salt shaker that I no longer use, and that way I can just sprinkle the cinnamon sugar onto the tortilla. And again, you can do this to taste. If you like a sweeter tortilla, then you can put a lot. If you prefer less, then go with less. Okay, so that should be enough. And then we're going to cut this into 12 pieces. And this is where having this tortilla is way too big, but it still made chips. They just weren't all triangles. You want to cut your tortilla into 12 pieces, and I ended up cutting mine into more than 12 pieces. So that all right, so you see I ended up with a pretty long chip. So what I did is I basically cut off the tops of these chips. But if you'll use the right size, you won't have to do this. But then I just cut these in half this way. So some of my chips didn't turn out to be triangles. I think they're, I don't know what they are. Maybe no. All right, so now I've got all my chips cut. So I'm gonna just put them on a cookie sheet and put them in the oven, and then you bake them at 350 degrees for 10 minutes. And I have actually already baked a set, so I already have a group of these ready to go, and I'll probably bake these also, but I can do it later because I already have some. But these make a delicious little chip. The recipe calls for whole wheat, but I think that's because this recipe actually came from a Cooking Light magazine. I used to love getting those magazines. And so it was trying to be healthy. So if you want to be healthier, you can do this with a whole wheat flour tortilla. I don't know that you would want to use corn, so I would stick to a wheat flour tortilla. All right, so I am going to bake these later, but I've already got some that are done. And you can see they make a nice little chip, and we'll use those later when the guacamole dip is done. Now let's make our guacamole dip. The guacamole dip is also super easy to make because all we're going to do is combine the ingredients. What I have in my bowl is 2 avocados that I've chopped fairly finely. If you wanted to, the recipe calls for chopping them, but I certainly think you could mash these as you might for guacamole. My avocados were fairly soft today. Really, I thought they were perfect, but they are mashing a little bit even as I mix them. So I think this will make the perfect dip, the perfect amount, but you don't want a crispy avocado. Try to be sure and get some that are ready or mature, or I should say ripe. Make sure you get some that are ripe. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to combine 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro that's been minced or chopped really finely. Uh-oh, sorry about that. If you're not a cilantro fan, you certainly could leave this out. But again, y'all already know I am a cilantro fan, so I love it. And let me just say, before I even started this video, I had prepped my avocados, and this recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of lime juice. I went ahead and put the lime juice on my avocados because not only does the lime juice give a little tart flavor to the dip, but it also will keep your avocados from turning brown or turning dark. So I went ahead and did that ahead of time when I was prepping so my avocados wouldn't go dark on me. The next thing I'm going to add is a teaspoon, just a little bit of very finely minced jalapenos. Again, I suppose you could leave this out too, but if you leave out too much of it, then it's not the dip anymore. And then the last thing we're going to add is a cup of finely chopped strawberries. Oh, I'm looking forward. I haven't made this in a while, and I love it. I don't know why I don't make it more often because I really do enjoy it. I need to double check my recipe today. So I've got the 2 avocados, the cilantro, a teaspoon of minced jalapeno pepper, my strawberries, my lime juice, and just a little bit of salt. I think it's a strange recipe. It says 3/8 of a teaspoon. I'm going to kind of go with just 1/8 of a teaspoon and then taste it and make sure that I want that much salt or that it's the right amount. But then all we're going to do is toss this together and it's done. So, and then you just serve it with your cinnamon tortilla chips. So I'm gonna now put this into a bowl for serving. And this is 2 easy, quick dips that you can make to take to a Super Bowl party if you've been invited to watch the game with someone. Both of these are delicious dips that you can take and enjoy. I'm glad you came along with me today while I made these 2 wonderful dips that I think are excellent to use for any get-together where you're doing finger foods. Both of these kind of have a Mexican flair to them, so it would be great for any time when there's a Mexican theme, but also it's good anytime. I'm going to take just a little bit of each of these on my plate and then test them. I'm really looking forward to this strawberry avocado dip. The recipe actually calls it a salsa, and I'm using a corn chip, just a corn chip, Fritos, whatever you might want to use for your corn dip, but this is delicious. That is so good. It will be better after it's been chilled in the refrigerator for a while. It'll firm up a little bit. So I will put this in the refrigerator and chill it, and you definitely want to make it ahead in enough time that you do have time to chill the corn dip. And now for the avocado or strawberry avocado dip. You could call this strawberry avocado guacamole. It's a lot like homemade guacamole, except we're using strawberries. I took too big of a bite, didn't I? That is so good. There's something about that strawberry, it's a little sweet. If you're used to guacamole with a tomato in it, it kind of has a sour taste. This is a sweet taste to your guacamole. Plus the sugar and cinnamon on your chip that you made just gives it a little different taste, and it's perfect again for any get together when you're needing to take a dish to put into a buffet where it's a potluck and everybody's bringing finger foods. Both of these are great recipes for that. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I love that you're coming along with me on this YouTube journey. I just keep plodding along, really not knowing what I'm doing. But I'm enjoying making the videos, and I hope that you are enjoying watching them. Uh, One way you can help me on this journey is to share my videos on your social media platforms, on Facebook or Instagram, wherever you might be. And then to give my videos thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and if you don't want to miss any of the videos, hit that little bell and it will make sure you know every time I put out a new video. And it's been a great day. I hope I will see you the next time I'm in my kitchen, on my porch, or in my garden.